Beloved ones, imagine yourself at the center of a storm. Not a storm of wind and rain, but a storm of intense and turbulent emotions around you. The words and actions of those around you may feel like lightning and thunder, each interaction a possible challenge to your inner peace. You find yourself like a drifting boat, lost in a sea of drama and negativity. But what if, amid this chaos, there existed a lighthouse, a moral compass that could guide you and restore your serenity? Welcome to the Path of Wisdom, where we explore ancient philosophies for modern challenges. Today, we're diving into Stoicism, not as an abstract theory, but as a practical guide to transform your relationships and, in turn, your emotional life. In this video, we will discover how Stoicism and spirituality can help you not only deal with toxic people and situations, but also take control of your emotional life. How many times have you felt emotionally drained after an interaction with someone? Or found yourself questioning your own sanity, manipulated into doubting everything you know to be true? Perhaps you're walking on eggshells, afraid the next drama will come from someone close to you. These are clear signs that external influences are compromising your inner peace. Stoicism teaches us that it is possible to look at these challenges with clarity, rationality, and above all, self-awareness. As we reflect on the power of Stoicism in our relationships, we can't help but notice its deep connection to spirituality. Just as Stoicism teaches us to cultivate serenity in the face of drama, negativity, and manipulation, spirituality guides us toward inner peace and harmony with the whole. In both paths, self-knowledge and emotional control become powerful tools to transcend the challenges of the material world and access a higher way of living. When we align our Stoic practice with spirituality, we understand that beyond the boundaries we set to protect our energy, we are also connecting with something greater than ourselves. We are tuning our essence with universal peace, allowing our energy to flow freely and harmoniously. By applying these principles in our lives, we are not just reacting to what's around us, but creating a space of light and truth that guides us to our higher purpose, a path of constant transformation. Think of your relationships as a garden. If you don't nurture and care for it wisely, weeds will grow, suffocating the flowers that nourish your life. The Stoic, like a gardener, examines the roots of each connection, identifying those that truly add value and those that drain your energy. The goal is not to isolate yourself from the world, but to build strong and truthful relationships based on virtue, respect, and reciprocity. It's about knowing when to walk away from people and situations that undermine your energy and learning to protect your inner peace. This is an invitation for you to navigate your emotional life with wisdom, using Stoic teachings to create more balanced and healthy relationships. In this video, you'll learn to identify the emotional traps that exist in relationships and to set healthy boundaries, cultivating a stronger and more balanced emotional life. Stoicism calls us to conscious action, not as a form of escape or victimhood, but as an opportunity to look at our relationships with sharper eyes, seeking more self-knowledge and self-sufficiency. Ready to take the first step on this journey of self-discovery? Let's begin together. As we continue to explore how Stoicism can transform our relationships and emotional life, now is the time to go deeper into one of the most challenging figures we can encounter in our interactions: toxic and negative people. Imagine that, as you walk through your life, someone throws a rock into a still lake. What happens? The ripples spread, disturbing the water's serenity. In the same way, toxic and negative people create a whirlpool of conflict and destructive emotions that can deeply affect us. They seem to feed off discord, leaving a trail of negativity wherever they go. undermining our peace and draining our energy. Stoicism teaches us to observe these external influences without being swept up in their emotional storms. The first step is awareness. When we constantly feel guilty or insecure in the presence of certain people, or when we're always walking on eggshells, fearing the next emotional outburst, it's a clear sign that we need to set boundaries and protect our energy. Stoicism does not ask us to tolerate abuse or negativity. On the contrary, it teaches us to be selective with whom we allow into our inner circle. These toxic influences often appear as reflections of the other person's insecurities, fears, and frustrations. By recognizing this pattern, we can develop compassion for them, but without allowing ourselves to be pulled into their cycle of negativity. Stoicism invites us to protect our mental and emotional health, to cultivate mental clarity and rationality, allowing the virtues of Stoic philosophy to guide our decisions and responses. By taking control of our reactions, we become more resilient, stronger, and more balanced in the face of life's adversities. By practicing self-control, we are able to maintain our inner peace even in the most challenging situations. Remember that you are not responsible for healing others' wounds, but you are responsible for protecting your own emotional and mental well-being. Cultivate clarity and rationality in your responses. Remember that by mastering how we respond to negative influences, we become a beacon of stability and serenity amid the chaos. This is the power of Stoicism in action, the ability to choose how to respond and to maintain control over our inner peace regardless of external circumstances. As we continue our journey of self-discovery through Stoicism, we now approach one of the most difficult issues in relationships: manipulative people. They operate invisibly but effectively, manipulating our emotions and distorting reality to serve their own interests. Imagine a calm river, seemingly serene on the surface, but hiding treacherous currents below. In the same way, manipulators may appear charming and captivating, but their intentions are often selfish, dishonest, and harmful. The manipulator is a master of reality distortion. They may twist facts, deny past events, or even create an atmosphere of doubt, making us question our own sanity. This process, known as gaslighting, is one of the most insidious forms of manipulation. Manipulators try to convince us that we are wrong, that our memories and perceptions are flawed, leaving us insecure and vulnerable to their control. In addition, they have the ability to divide and conquer, creating conflict among others, spreading gossip and sowing distrust, all to increase their own power. Stoicism teaches us to maintain rationality and mental clarity in the face of such manipulation. By observing these tactics with discernment, we become stronger and more protected, as we can resist the temptation of being emotionally manipulated. Just as an experienced sailor knows how to recognize dangerous currents in a river, we must learn to identify patterns of manipulation and dishonesty to avoid being dragged under. One of the main tools for protecting our emotional energy from manipulators is the establishment of clear boundaries. Stoicism encourages us to be assertive in our relationships, to express our needs honestly and directly. We must not be afraid to say no when necessary, or to walk away from situations that make us feel uncomfortable or exploited. Stoicism also reminds us of the importance of honoring our own integrity, respecting our values, and not allowing others to treat us with dishonor or disrespect. Additionally, Stoicism teaches us that in moments of manipulation, we can seek support from trustworthy people, those who help us see situations more clearly and guide us to make wise decisions for our own well-being. Remember, you are worthy of respect and of healthy relationships. By stepping away from manipulative people, you make space to create more authentic and nurturing connections. Now, let's move forward to explore the next theme: How people who live for drama and who disrespect our boundaries can disrupt our inner peace, and how we can use Stoic wisdom to handle these situations in a healthy and balanced way. Are you ready to continue this journey of self-discovery? As we dive more deeply into the complexities of human relationships, we encounter another type of toxic influence that can undermine our inner peace. People who live for drama. They turn every moment into a crisis, every situation into an emergency. Imagine a brightly lit stage, where each scene is more exaggerated than the last. That's how these people are. Their lives become a constant performance of despair, where even the smallest problems are turned into great catastrophes. They are like dramatic actors who don't know how to live without conflict and chaos around them. These people often pull us into their cycle of negativity and exaggeration. They seem to feed off the chaos they create, turning even the smallest disagreement into a major confrontation. For those who seek peace and serenity, this behavior can be deeply exhausting. The anxiety generated by these situations often makes us feel as if we are being sucked into an emotional vortex where everything is amplified and distorted. Stoicism teaches us to respond to these situations with discernment, clarity, and, above all, rationality. The key is not to be carried away by the exaggeration and the drama of others. Instead of being dragged onto the stage of confusion, we should place ourselves as distant observers, calmly evaluating what is happening. This does not mean being indifferent or insensitive to others' suffering, but rather maintaining our peace and not allowing ourselves to be swept away by unnecessary emotions. Like a sailor who stays steady at the helm during a storm, we must remain calm, grounded in our principles, as we watch the drama unfold around us. Beyond drama, another major challenge in relationships is the lack of respect for our boundaries. People who disrespect our personal boundaries may invade our privacy, demand more than we can give, or simply take more than we're willing to offer. These attitudes can be extremely harmful, as they make us feel devalued and drain our vital energy. Stoicism teaches us the importance of setting clear boundaries and protecting ourselves from such intrusions. We must not allow our inner peace to be compromised by those who do not respect our individuality. Establishing boundaries is, therefore, a practice of self-overcoming and self-preservation. Stoicism reminds us that protecting our boundaries is not an act of selfishness, but of self-love and respect for our emotional energy. Clear and direct communication becomes essential at this point. We must learn to say no with confidence, without feeling guilty or selfish. By doing this, we protect our mental and emotional health and open space for more balanced and healthy relationships. Remember, beloved ones, you deserve relationships that nourish your soul, that respect your space, and that help you grow. Do not allow drama, manipulation, or disrespect for your boundaries to steal your peace. By cultivating relationships based on virtue, clarity, and respect, you will be building an environment of harmony in your life. Keep observing, evaluating, and responding with wisdom. We move forward together with serenity and clarity. If you enjoyed this content, leave your like,